Invisible Man. Oh, the Invisible Man.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of The Invisible Man. My name is Mark David Stallard, the handsome chap on the screen you'll recognize as the Colorado Phil.
Hey,
How you doing, Phil?
I'm the good-looking one. Come on now.
The almost baby-faced guy that just appeared is, of course, Ryan Jones. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. It's good to be here. And I actually use one announcement. We've some wonderful things have happened in our life. My wife and I have actually bought a new house. So this will be my official last cast from what I've affectionately called The Loft. So this will be the last performance. I won't be here next week, but in 2 weeks' time, you will see me in a probably half-assembled studio.
So you're getting a new doghouse.
Yeah, exactly. I will be banished into the basement instead of banished upstairs. So,
Perfect. That's where I've been all along.
in the basement,
So I just want a shout out. Thank you to the audience who have been patiently waiting. I'm not sure patience is the right word, but it looked like there was a fight was going to break out in the chat there with the wondering what we were up to. Now I think that just let everybody know is that just because we started directly on time for the last 2 weeks. I want to remind everybody we were ridiculously late every episode before that. So I think you guys have just been spoiled.
True.
So it's the usual technical
before we came on the air, Jacqueline and I were both primming ourselves up. I got a right hat that I needed and the right glasses, so we're ready.
You should have seen Phil. He was backcombing his goatee so he could have the proper, like the big 80s tease,
Yes.
except he with the goatee.
There we go. Okay, so if everyone in the chat there, or even if you're watching this after the event, please like the video, give it a heart or a thumbs up, share it with your friends, share it to everybody, your group, start a watch party. It really does help us out, and it's really great when we have lots of people getting involved in the chats. And if you have any questions for Jacqueline throughout the show at any time, just put your question in the chat, and we'll make sure that she gets it. Okay, if you want to know anything about the show at all, while you're listening, you can go to theinvisibleman.ca. Lots of good information there as well. Anyhow, let's get on with the show. I've been rambling enough. It's time that we brought our guest on. So, from the darkness she rises, a warrior, to bring light and love into the world through music. A powerful singer who's made waves in independent music, both as a solo artist as well as in larger projects, including Aron Cross. The warrior princess herself, Jacqueline Lovely Perras. How are you doing? Thanks for coming on.
Welcome aboard.
Hi. It's great to see you. It's great to see you. I just flew across the country to get here really quick. Actually, when I say I flew, I mean I drove. Okay. I drove within this. I can't say anything now. I drove and I got here on time.
Yes, it was all
on time. There we go.
Yeah, so it was all, I think the part of the reason we were late was that everything was kind of, a few technical difficulties.
No, it's because I had a duct tape issue.
I was trying to
tell everybody the truth. I got stuck with a whole bunch of duct tape and I couldn't get out. And it's my fault.
Well, at least this time it wasn't me. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, the show's still young, Phil.
True that.
Okay.
We've had technical issues like this all the time. I actually had to drop out of a show once because I lost power in my house. Mark, I'm sure we've been shut down Sony shut down our stream one time.
Yeah.
Phil's gotten us into trouble. So it's okay.
You know you're doing good though if Sony's watching you.
Yeah. And CD Baby.
I think it was more like your bar.
Somebody's watching me.
I think it was.
I got my wild hoodoo hair from the road. It's this is my big new West Coast wild look.
Or was it that you had the window down the whole way?
Yeah, the drop top was down, right?
Okay.
Woo! Talking about big hair, right?
As we go. Yep, Brian knows all about that.
I'm an 80s girl, so, big hair.
What do I know about hair?
Yes, exactly.
I grew into it.
I got nothing.
Bigger the better.
All I know about hair is that I can't stand having hair, so I just shaved the damn thing off.
You
So
know
can
what?
just, like,
And
can you
viva la
donate
difference.
something?
You know, whatever you want to do, however you want to look, go do that.
Oh,
It's
Jacqueline,
all about whatever you want.
I've
Just do
been
it.
down the road of growing my hair. I actually grew it and kind of had that whole Horatio look going from CSI Miami there.
Oh,
For true. For my daughter's
Is that where you got the aviator
you know,
shot?
but I can't lie. I do actually prefer long hair. So, you know, guys like you know, you look good rocking the, you know, the skull, but just like big hair in the 80s, like big hair on the boys too, you know.
You know, here's the funny thing is that all the complaints I have about hair, I hate having hair as well. So I'm right.
oh, hate it, man.
Do you? You hate hair?
And here's the thing. At one point, I had hair down to here. I was in my
Oh,
teenage years. It was like in the middle of like the 90s.
You're a
right?
bass
So-
player, right?
Oh yeah, sure. Whatever. Yeah.
You're a
Don't
bass player?
already get started with that and
Yeah.
hashtag and bassism.
Oh,
Like,
bass?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was going to be a bass player on the show.
Well, we invited him on because he felt left. He was looking sad, so we invited him on.
No, I love bass players. They're, you know, they're part of the
everybody
foundation.
Everybody does.
Yes.
See, foundation, good foundation. Anyway,
That's right. Foundation.
we don't have to get into my George Costanza routine. Anyway,
No, maybe. Are you going to do the pose? You're going to do like the couch pose? You know, when you do the George
no,
Costanza?
we want to keep viewers. No. And- no, but I can get that son of a bitch out of the fucking- That's my best Jason Alexander. At least spur of the moment with no other context.
Okay.
Easy, big fella.
Oh, you guys want me to say something or not?
Actually, I just want to. Yep, I'm gonna get you.
actually very
I'm
funny
having a hard time keeping my mouth shut.
Oh no, you just keep going. There's less for me to do. So to let everyone know that probably in about 5 minutes or so, maybe 10 minutes, we got a brand new song that we're going to be playing.
Yes.
Part of a video, we do have an issue with copyright, so we can only show part of the video, but we've got a slideshow that will fill up the rest of the screen. But
Nice.
Yeah,
we will hear
yeah.
the whole song. But just letting everyone know. So
We will.
let's
Yeah.
get you-
So, anyways, listen, you guys. The song is called "Save Me," and it was actually going to be released a few weeks ago. But since everybody, you know, people who do follow me on Facebook, or if you don't know me, I just found my whole biological family. I was alone, adopted, you know, lonely, crazy, and then, well, I'm still crazy, and thank goodness some of my family are, you know, in the running. So, but they're all parts of me. I love them. Anyway, so I just found my whole father's side of my family, my whole mother's side's like 40 people or something like that. And I'm just coming back from that, like right now. I just drove like from the Vancouver ferry in Vancouver 3 days to get here to be here to say hello. so Save Me was supposed to come out before my trip, and then it got you know, put aside for a little bit, but now here we are on The Invisible Man, and you're going to get to hear the first single from my album coming up in September, The Quickening. This is the song, it's Save Me. So, and there's a video that goes with it. You're only going to get to see a small clip of the video, but I promise you, after the show tonight, I'm going to release the video, the full video on YouTube, and then you can go watch it.
Yeah, and we'll be for sure. We will share it on our Facebook page as well.
Yeah, make
And
sure
we'll
you
social media.
guys like the page and comments. Like, this is your chance, everybody, to ask me anything you want. The sky's the limit. If you got a question, type it in. I'll answer anything you want to know.
Careful. Well, I've got a question for you.
You can ask me questions
Okay,
too.
so you went into something really deep there, but can you tell us maybe a little bit about yourself, your background? Well, how you got to this,
Yeah. So
maybe
I
how you
was
got to this
born in
point.
Victoria. I was a naval family, got shipped over to Ontario, grew up in Ontario. I actually was like singing in choir from like grade 2. You know, I came out of the womb. Oh! So singing's always been like a thing for me.
That's a hell of an answer.
And then I had my first band when I was 17, and you know, then some other stuff kind of went on. But in 1999, I did have my first rock band that played the Gasworks in Rock and Roll Heaven in Toronto called Uncensored. And one of the songs on the first album, which right now, everybody, if you don't already know, you can download all of the songs from the first album for free. My gift to you during COVID, so that you can have something fun to listen to at home. So you can go and download all the tracks, plus a bonus track on there called No Love. piano duet with my ex-writing partner. So all of those songs, those 9 songs, you can just go to the website and download them for free. And then you'll be ready for the next installment, Warrior of Truth 2, The Quickening, which the song Save Me is coming from. And just to remind you, these songs, they all fit together. Like, they're all true stories. They're all about, tough stuff and crap that happens, mean people, but how it doesn't matter what anyone does or anything that happens to you in your life. It's your attitude about what happens when things go wrong or things are great that determines what your future is. If you choose well, good things happen. If you choose bad, karma comes back and bites you in the butt. That's how it goes. And that's how we talk. That's what we talk about. I talk about how to, my life was a mess. I come from not a good situation, and I was adopted alone and not adopted by people who were loving and kind. People who, were a little bit on the mean side. So I dealt with that for a long time. And, wonderfully, just this March, right the week that the pandemic was declared in 2020, both my mother's side of the family and my father's side of the family matched me on Ancestry DNA. And then we all came together, and I just met them all. And I'm just on my way back to Ontario now. I can hardly wait to see all my Southern Ontario friends and hopefully get out there to some events. I hear you guys are actually doing stuff out there. There's some jams going on. It got the plexiglass. I hate to say, but in Alberta, where I just came from, hanging out with my girlfriend Kay Pink, she said no singers in Alberta. Singing is banned in Alberta. So, did I pick the right profession? I think I did, but I can't stop. So it doesn't matter what you do. You can ban singing, and I'm going to just sing it everywhere. Like, I'll just walk around the grocery stores singing, whatever. Janis Joplin songs. If you see me, tap me on the back and say, sing something for me, and I'll just do it because I
how about Bobby McGee?
Performance.
Bobby McGee, you were talking Janis Joplin. Come on. Bobby
yeah.
McGee?
You want me to sing some Janis Joplin right now?
Why not?
Okay, I won't do Bobby McGee though. I do have a go-to Janis song. Okay, ready?
All right.
Oh Lord, won't you buy me a Mercedes Benz? My friends all drive Porsches. I must make amends. Work hard all my lifetime. No help from my friends. So, oh Lord, won't you buy me wait a minute. I'd rather have a sweet record contract now.
Okay, take over, guys. My speaker's gone.
All right, Mark has lost his speaker.
And this is sort of Janis hair too. So
yeah, it is kind of Janis. We're gonna.
It's kind of Janis-y.
I like that. You got a lot of gravel in that back of your throat there, which just
it's always like that.
Yeah.
Some people who are into a lot of the processed pop music right now think that I should smoothen out my voice to sound 12 years old, but
no, never do that.
You know what? I'm into natural. If I can't sing it live for you, I don't want it on the album.
Well, there you go. No, that's great. And that vocal quality is very, very unique to Janis. That screechy, because a lot of people would look at Janis Joplin at a glance and be like, "Oh, she's just screaming," but she's actually singing and projecting, and it's actually just the quality of her voice. It's like similar articles. Or similar artists like Kurt Cobain had that in his voice.
Yeah, what? If that's your voice, you're not gonna. If you're doing karaoke, then you're not singing really. That's the one thing that singers that I could say to all of them. Listen, stop trying to sound like all the artists you love and just sing. You'll find your true voice, and when you do, everything sounds better because it's you. Nobody wants to hear 50 people, who sound like Kurt Cobain. We want to hear Kurt Cobain, and then we want to hear you singing like you with your perfect voice. So, if you're a fledgling singer or you're out there and you want to be better, just practice those songs, but don't listen to the cover versions of them. Just sing them the way you want with your heart. It doesn't have to be exactly the way it is. Just, get in there. A great singer is, look at somebody like Neil Young. Fantastic. Is he like a technically perfect singer? No, of course he's not. but he's got heart and soul, and he tells these great stories with passion, and you can visualize everything he's saying. That's what good songwriting and good singing is about. If the audience feels like you're inside the song and you believe what you're saying, that's when they're impacted. And that's why live performance is so important. It's, yes, you can get something really good on an album, but nothing beats going to see a great singer and a great band, push it out for you and sweat on the plexiglass that we now have to have for COVID. Like, live is everything. And just remember, if you can't see your bands live, support your indie artists and whatever else they're doing. Watch this. Make some questions up. Talk to me. Download my album. It's not going to cost you anything, but it gives me great pleasure to know that you're listening. So just do that.
Okay, just for the audience there, if you have not seen Jacqueline live, the energy you're seeing on screen is a fraction of what she does on stage.
Thank you.
I had the pleasure, I think it was 3 or 4 weeks ago at Cannabis Castle. You did a set.
The 22nd of July.
Oh, was that long ago? Wow. Just
Yeah. Over a month.
It was a captivating show. If you do get a chance to see her live, go see her live. You will not regret it. Yes. Please do. So when did you realize you had that voice? I mean, obviously it's an amazing voice. When did you realize you could sing?
Well, you know what? I grew up with like Heart and Ronnie James Dio and, Sebastian Bach from Skid Row, like with those voices singing that like harder stuff and trying to emulate power females and power male vocals. But it wasn't until I went with a bunch of girlfriends to the Mariposa Folk Festival and I saw this band called the Good Lovelies. And the Good Lovelies, they're these really close girlfriends and they sing in perfect 4-part harmony. And the songs are really sexy and they're kind of campy and they're like, oh, I bought some new boots and they're under the bed, but I'm not going to tell you what I did instead. Like it's, and they're they're having, so once I heard that, the 4-part harmony, I remembered when I spent a lot of time doing choir and I used to do musical theater in high school. And I thought, you know what? I'm just keep trying to sound like this, and instead, but I am a woman too, and there's a feminine side of me that can be kind of sweet. And I love the album projects because I always try to let you see the whole range of my personality. It's not all this or this or this or full range of manic layers. So, but once I went to a party. This guy took me there. He met me at a karaoke thing. He took me to this big, mixed martial arts fighting party with like 17 guys. And one of them was a bass player and he had his stuff in the car. So after the guy won and everybody was excited, he started to jam. And then somebody said, oh, the date that I brought, she's a singer. And that was in 2009. So then I sang with him. We ended up becoming friends, Daniel. And then I got motivated to just get right back in it. But I was singing in a different way that night, like more melodic, like, songs like House of the Rising Sun or Stevie Nicks. When I don't really do a lot of covers. If you see me singing cover songs, then you're getting a treat. Because mostly I do my indie rock theater performance band, which is all my original material, except we always do a Ronnie James Dio song, and of course my very favorite AC/DC's Whole Lotta Rosie that I've been singing since I was 15. Always ends the show with a little bit of mayhem. But during the show, it's like big concert and costumes and theater and oration and telling people it's about uplifting people with music and being naked in, abuse and humiliation and bullying and, all the bad things that happened to me. I like to write about those because there's a lot of people out there that experience bad things, but they don't have anybody to talk to and they think they can't rise above what somebody else did to them. And I want them to know nothing anybody does to you has anything to do with the life you're living now. It's about you deciding, you know what, I don't like that person. Maybe they're family. Well, I just put them aside for a little while. I don't like what they're saying to me. They family, you got to keep those bonds strong. I love that I got a gazillion people that I get to be loyal to now. Yes. I get to try out all those Brady Bunch moves, you know, like, you know, I've been watching Families on TV for millennia, but I've never had any blood family except for me and my son, and you know, things are good there. But I wanted to have a grandmother and a cousin and a sister, and now I got 3 brothers and a sister and nieces and cousins and nephews and 4 mothers. Like it's. It was a fabulous trip. But during that trip, I still was working. I even there was a video I did. I was doing this compilation video thing that Rolling Rocks came up with about like a tribute for a live performance bar, the Rock Pile, that has not closed down with COVID. They're already up and running with a limited capacity of 50. They're doing great. They're doing temperature checks and all that stuff to make sure that 50 people can enjoy a night out with live music. So I did sort of a thing with 16 other musicians in the Toronto area, fabulous musicians and singers. And we did Led Zeppelin's Rock and Roll as a tribute to the Rock Pile. And at the end of that, Roland wanted me to sing. I needed to redo some of the video because the lips weren't matching properly when they synced it together. So I just happened to be on Vancouver Island that night, and it was my dad's birthday. He's not around anymore, but it was a great tribute to him on August 5th for me to refilm the end of the rock and roll compilation video with Rolling Rocks and all those other fabulous musicians in Toronto, and do something really, really cool so that the video had a piece coming from Vancouver Island. And so that was really fun. But I love the opportunities also that COVID has opened for us to collaborate wherever we are in the world. People were doing it, but everybody was still complaining a little bit about it. But now, when it's the only thing we've got, more and more people they're doing such cool stuff. And other opportunities are coming up to do projects, to make videos, to, you know, get involved with studio only albums right now, because, you know, with singing being sort of, you know, the last thing that's really going to come back into full force and big, you know, 5,000 people concerts. We just got to keep the music alive and keep creating and keep connecting with our friends and our fans and other musicians, and just build a stronger team during all this craziness. And then if we do that, on the other side, we're all going to be stronger in the end, because we're going to have a tighter community of people who realize that they don't want to live without live music. You know, it was a little stale just before COVID. People weren't going out as much in the last couple of years, and a lot of clubs were folding because of it. People were not going out, they were forgetting what the whole experience of connecting with people and socializing and watching your favorite band and everybody going, yes, I love this band. You know, all of us together. That is something now that those of us who love those experiences, we miss them, and we're going to cherish them. And that's what we're doing by continuing to support our local bars and, you know, fundraising events to help staff if they're short money, but they really want to stick with it, because we got great staff in a lot of the clubs that support local musicians in Toronto. And of course here as well, fantastic music community in Winnipeg. I actually played here when I was looking for my birth family in 2016, and I didn't find anybody. I came here, I did a show at Pony Corral and a little blog thing about looking for my family. And I went out to like 4 jam nights and played at the Pony Corral. And I loved the way that in Winnipeg, the camaraderie between the musicians and the networking with everybody was so awesome. And I just think that across the country, if that's not happening, more of it'll happen now, because it becomes very clear when there's no work which people are doing music for love and which ones are only doing it for a buck. The people who are the naturals and do music, indie music, create music because they love it, they didn't give it up when there was no money. They just kept doing it and sharing it because that's what their passion is and that's what's in their heart. So I think we're going to see a much vibrant live scene, definitely by 2022. I don't know what's going to happen next year, but you know, we're going to keep doing things like this.
Yeah, we're
thanks to you.
We're hoping things open up next year, where Ryan and I were talking about doing a very brief tour of England. I've got a couple of musicians already lined up.
I
several bands
definitely,
ready,
I
so-
want to go.
we'll see.
The Vakken Heavy Metal Festival was canceled. I did get to do that in 2017. Anybody who's a music fan, it doesn't matter if you're a big hardcore metal fan, you need to experience that festival. It's probably got to be the closest thing to Woodstock. It's so well organized. There's no fighting. People are just like, live and let live. What happens at Vakken stays at Vakken. Vakken once a year. They got a whole song about it, that they open the festival. And people from all walks of life just wander around being whoever they are. If they want to be topless, they're topless. If they want to dress in a skirt and they're a really tall man with a beard, that's allowed too. So that festival, they are saying they're going to run it in 2021 at this point. So it was sold out this year. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I bet you everybody who's got tickets is going to go to that festival if it happens in 2021. And I think I'll be looking for somebody to snatch a few from if we can travel by then.
Yeah. Okay, let's head to the theater and we'll maybe watch the opening part of your video. Just reminded everybody we can't play the whole thing, unfortunately, but we I do have a slideshow set
This
up.
has to do with licensing and bizarre rights and stuff. But again, a reminder: I will post the whole thing later tonight, so you can also
YouTube. Anyhow, anyway, so we'll get ahead and we'll start that now. And here we go. Let's have a look. There we go. Yeah, it's a little quiet at the beginning, everybody. The music will start, honestly. There we go.
You never tried to save me, I had to save myself. I traveled long and far to learn the truth. Quiet conversations, I spoke to him myself. Without the outside world, I hear you, Lord. But he was the hardest thing, Lord, for me to let go. The truth is on those pages, but my heart still leads the way. And now I stand here strong in you. I welcome judgment day. Save me when I can't save myself.
It's like a beat.
Once it kicks off.
Okay.
Isn't this fun?
Here
we go. Okay, I'm not sure if we're live yet, but I think we are. Well, that's the first time I've crashed. So that was my computer died for no reason. Right. Can anybody see the stream live yet? Oh, there we go.
I have. I'll share it out.
All right. It looks like we lost the audience, but we may as well keep going for a little bit anyway, see who joins us.
They'll go back and watch it later.
Sorry? Yeah. Yes, so this is the fun part. I'm not sure. I don't know why this happened, but my computer, I've got 2 Wi-Fi cards on. I got a backup. They both stopped working. My CPU usage went through the roof, and I just went bang. So sorry, everybody, for that. It's the first time this has happened.
But that's okay. Listen, you guys, this is a spectacular opportunity. You just experienced a cosmic event. That the energy of this show just blasted the internet connection right off the map.
There you go.
Well, actually, it was a bit more
So
of a
that's
feed.
good. That's good news for Mark, for all the rest of the shows that are coming.
Yeah, it was a feedback loop. It just came back and blew up my
rising
computer.
with all the fire and power of the show.
Okay. Right, what were we talking about?
Well, we were listening to Save Me.
There we go.
Yeah.
How far did we get in there before it stopped?
Probably about 2.5 minutes, I would say. Somewhere in about there.
Okay.
It had picked up we were into about the second chorus, I think. So that put us in about the 2.5 minute mark, I think.
Okay.
Well, that's okay because I'm going to post the video tonight anyway, so they got a teaser and then they can watch it, and we'll put it in the room, and
Perfect.
and everybody can see it later tonight.
Okay, perfect. The good news is I don't know who's joined us, but I can see the viewer count is almost at where it was. CR Holland says, "I'm back, girl."
Hi, CR.
So I'm hopefully there. I think I saw Angela and Charlene having a nice big conversation there as well.
Hi,
so hopefully
guys.
they'll come back and join us.
Oh, speaking of Angela, there's a guest here. She's
So
here she is.
Hello.
hello.
Angela
You look-
Campbell from odadita.ca.
You look great, Angela.
Mark, I'm sorry if we were talking during the video when it was playing.
Well, that wasn't
Didn't know
my
the
song
mic-
you ruined.
But
And you were.
isn't this, look at this lovely? We're doing everything, social distance friendly,
Yeah.
even though we're besties.
Yeah.
I just came from a month out west.
Yeah. So Jacqueline mentioned that she would be singing in grocery stores. I'd like to assure you all she wears a mask when she goes to grocery stores. I thought that was kind of a weird comment, but
I could sing with a mask on. I bet you if I put one on right now, I could still sing with a mask. Well, maybe in front of Oh, can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
we can hear you.
No problem.
See?
One of the watchers said that they couldn't see you very well, and I said, "Well, you don't have any problem hearing her, do you?"
Sometimes that's better. That's why the duct tape is here. I can get a little bit unruly, and then even the host of the show doesn't get to say anything.
That's perfect because that makes a really
Hey, I
easy
just
How
show
would
wanted
you
for
like
me.
that
In
song
here.
Save Me? I think it's awesome.
I just want to jump in here because this episode of the show is now it's in 2 parts. I went ahead and on the Invisible Man Show Facebook show page, where it's pinned to the top, you look in the comments, and the link to watch part 2 is in the comments there.
Okay.
And,
Perfect.
I just want to, Chris Lady just asks, are you back? So obviously joined us, came back. So thanks for coming back, Chris. Yes, we are back. There was a computer issue at my end, and they required a restart. So
It was
apologies.
an alien force that zapped out the internet.
Sorry, it was Jacqueline's incredible magnetic.
Don't
and
listen
electric
to anything that
personality.
Yes, it was my big song. It was Save Me. It was so big, the whole world collapsed.
It was great. It was amazing. Yeah, lots of sparks and bright lights.
Yeah, well, that seems to happen. They do say when great, things happen, when energy events happen, it sucks the life out of cell phones and internet and whatever. So, maybe we just had a lot of spiritual energy and people, from all kind of planes of existence that were trying to watch, and they tried to suck the energy out of your computer.
Yeah, actually, I think you're a superhero, and your superhero name should be Electromagnetic Pulse.
Yeah, I am a superhero, and very well.
Oh,
I'm not announcing that part.
okay. Oh, okay.
But hey, for all my friends out there who who've been following a little bit who know that I did the movie Flames of Fury and The Good Family, both movies which used original music of mine in their soundtrack. 4 songs for Flames of Fury and 3 for The Good Family. Those films were supposed to come out this year, but because of COVID, they got delayed. So watch for them to be released sometime in 2021. We don't have an exact date for release yet, but you'll see me in both films on the camera, and you'll hear me across the soundtrack in both films as well. And if you know the band Moxie, Valerie Sherman, who is the ex-wife, rest in peace, of the famous Buzz Sherman, she does her own stuff. She's doing some great stuff. She's got a single out now called She's Everybody's Daughter. And Valerie asked me in February to help her create a video story for that. And I did direct, act, cast it, and do some of the storyboard writing for the video, which is mixed in with some live performance pieces with Valerie and the rest of her team there. So fantastic video. If you haven't seen it, it's a homage to, the horrible women and young kids are being taken into slavery. Her own mother was murdered when she was 11. And it's all about, let's just say more. If you see something weird, say something. Let's just help stop violence and kidnapping and slavery and whatever else weirdness is still going on. Even with COVID, there's still other madness going on in the world. Let's not forget, there's people out there that are not living in good circumstances. So Valerie Sherman's video, She's Everybody's Daughter, talks about that, as well as the Flames of Fury movie, which also addresses, the psychological trauma that comes with, having a crappy childhood. But it, love always empowers everything. So, there's always good in all things that are even difficult to hear, because in the end, if you apply love and kindness to all situations, including COVID, and even if you're having like a grouchy moment with your neighbor or something, love and kindness, if you respond that way, the outcome's always better. So if we just do more of that, the world's gonna get better, and things are gonna be good again, and we will be rocking and rolling. So
the acting.
Keep a positive frame of mind.
Yeah. So how did you get into the acting there? Was that something you've always done, or has it come something recent?
I did do a little bit of acting when I was younger, but this one is to the credit of Roxy Luciani, my fabulous support singer and stage tech in the Aron Cross Rock Theater project. Roxy had done a stage reading for the screenplay of Flames of Fury. And when she was working on that with director Gloria Yazdani, Gloria said, does anybody know a passionate powerhouse singer who could write an original song for the film? And Roxy put up her hand and said, I know somebody. So I got in touch with Gloria, and what we ended up doing was something I'd never done before. I write my own music. It's all the lyrics of mine. All the stories are true stories of madness, except recently. So Gloria Yazdani wrote this beautiful poem, and it's called Child of the Wild. And she asked if I would write a melody and an arrangement and music to bring the poem to life, to become the theme song of the movie Flames of Fury. So it's a sort of a rock cross Persian inspired song. And it turned out fabulous. And I'm very grateful and really proud and honored that Gloria trusted me to write a theme song for a movie, which I'd never done before. And I'd never written melody and sang somebody else's lyrics before. But the Child of the Wild really spoke to my heart. I was listening to it when I was traveling in the car, and I made it my own song. And it's one of those songs that's got a lot of general visualizations, and you really can, make it your own song. So it's going to start the movie just like the old James Bond flicks, when they used to have really good songs with lyrics that opened a film. This is happening in this film. So it's a Persian cross with Canadian. It's, Persian woman living in Canada, who had some experience. So it's cross-cultural. It's, violence and happiness and love and kindness and mental health issues. It's an excellent film, Flames of Fury, feature length. I do act in it. And I also sing one of my original songs, A Woman, that is also going to be on my album that's coming out in September. So I got to actually sing an original song in a feature-length movie as my very first Internet Movie Database credit.
Nice. So you're actually on screen while you're singing?
Oh, yeah.
You're playing. So your character's singing. Nice.
Yes, and
Excellent.
the other thing is, if people don't know, another song that was inspired by the movie, "Damaged." "Damaged" was used in the film trailer. So there is a trailer on YouTube for the movie right now. It's fantastic. And halfway through the trailer, the song "Damaged," which is also from the soundtrack, written by me and my songwriter companion, and then. Yeah, so used in the movie. So that video, hopefully that's going to be coming out. The video and the release of that song will be the second single. "Damaged" will be coming out sometime, I don't know when, in the next couple of weeks before the album gets
Okay,
released.
so this year.
That's what a pre-release is supposed to be, right? I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? We wing it
But
anyway.
exciting stuff. Yeah, so I really like acting, and because I did Flames of Fury, the Good family asked me to come do a cameo in their film. So I'm in the first 5 minutes of this mafia comedy. You know, I don't want to give away the plot, but it's funny. And but I'm in the first 5 minutes of the movie, just in a cameo in the movie, but you see me very well. And then they asked if they could use some of my music, so they used some of my original songs. But it's going to be a blockbuster year for me next year, with the new album coming out in September and being promoted, and then 2 movies with my original music in it. Like 2021 is. Woo! Sounded fantastic.
And you're also involved in a music video. You're doing. So tell us about the music video.
So in the Valerie Sherman's video, so I was going to do my own feature-length movie this year. I was writing a movie called White Bread, and it was supposed to film this summer, but then COVID shut everything down. But just before the COVID lockdown, just when things were starting to, we were hearing rumblings of something going on, Valerie asked me to direct a video for one of her original songs. And I'm all about collaborating with my musician friends and, working together. I'll help you, you help me, we cross promote. Everybody, gets more promotion if we all work together and help each other. So Valerie and I collaborated on that. And, her song, her voice, beautiful original song, me acting, directing, and, doing some of the storyboard stuff and, casting. The storyboard portion of her video. She's everybody's daughter, Valerie Sherman. It's out there. It's out right now.
Excellent. So COVID's been tough for everybody, right? So we've all been locked in, whatever.
Yeah.
But you got involved. You were able to get involved in a couple of sizable projects.
Yeah, several projects. Like in part 1 of this, I did talk a little bit about that. Roland Rocks from Toronto, who is a great guitar player, dedicated at running a jam night, fantastic jam night. He decided to get some of the music, the professional musicians that he knew in the Toronto area, together to do some videos. So there were 3 of them. The first one I got asked to do, but I turned it down just because of the content of the lyrics. And then the next one was an Anvil song, Metal on Metal. Anvil, I've known them since 1981, so it was a privilege to get to sing Metal on Metal. And then even Anvil's current bass player, Chris, did a cameo in that compilation video with the other musicians as well. And the singer from Lips wrote a nice comment under the video, just thanking us for honoring Anvil and doing a COVID collaboration for the Anvil song. And then the last one was the one I talked about earlier, for the Rock Pile Rock and Roll. So I did the Anvil one and the rock and roll one for our beloved bar in Toronto, the Rock Pile. So doing that, but other things have been happening. There's been other people in the background that have been calling me with offers and asking me to do more compilation videos, but do them, where there's a payment for the artist. So each artist gets paid just like playing a bar on a Friday night, to put together, a couple of videos, a series of videos, and then they get marketed out there. So that's a project I'm looking into. I'll need to talk to more about, I was meeting my family out west for 6 weeks. So, except for filming a little bit of video in the Esquimalt Lagoon on Vancouver Island for the rock and roll Led Zeppelin tribute to the Rock Pile video, I haven't really done any of that because I'm really on data. So everything I'm doing is eating up my data. So I'm really looking to connect with Wi-Fi and then, get more involved with some international projects, collaborating with musicians all over the world. Because that's, for singers, that's all you're really going to be doing right now. There's not a lot of singing going on. You've got the little plastic thing, Alberta, no singing at all. I don't know what it's like in other places in Canada, but Alberta is still banned singing altogether. I did get to sing in Victoria at the Loft. Graham, the owner there, graciously worked with me and the house band, the regular house band, to put together an hour and 5 minute set of music. On August 3rd, it was my first time performing since COVID. Little plastic thing, audience social distanced. The restaurant only had 50 capacity. The tables were all spaced out, masks on the way in. It was done really well. And everybody who was there thought it was safe and respectful, and they all had a really good time. So I don't know what's taking Alberta so long. But in Ontario, I believe there is some singing going on too. There's outdoor events. There are some indoor events with the same kind of thing. The plastic sheeting in front of the singers, masks going in and out, people getting their temperature checked at the door, signing in with your name and phone number, just in case something goes wrong. There's, let us do our thing. Musicians need to rock. So let us get out there and rock.
Indeed. We're getting a little anxious. We had to give up a couple of shows right at the beginning of this, just so we were starting to get back into it again as well. So as far as the songs, you say you write your songs, you write the lyrics.
I
do you write the music as well, or?
Well, for me, writing original music is really important for me right now, because the Warrior of Truth is a trilogy series, so 3 albums, 8 songs each album. But each 8-song album, all of those songs are going into a rock opera that I'm writing. So you can't really have somebody else writing it, because nobody really knows what the finished vision of the rock opera is except for me. Yep. So, the songs, it's like the rock opera is sort of like mirrors my life, but it's a little bit more Hollywood dramatic. With, the characters are sort of based loosely on people, but a little bit more dramatic. And then, of course, the backdrop of my music with, big theater. I love the theater thing. And I really do see for my band, Aron Cross, we were talking about this before COVID even happened, about changing our venue from rock club to theaters and doing more of the stage props and more of the acting, and make it a bit bigger, and actually take the rock theater show that we do to a theater where you would see a play, that type of thing. That there is some music stuff going on that's playing in venues like that are normally venues for plays and things. Or even you see like Gilmore's out playing in these theaters and doing shows. Everybody pays $40. It's scaled seating. It's really nice. So that might be an option too. And maybe the theater aspect, this is a good time to maybe even transition into that. I'll have to talk to my band when I get home about what they think about that. But I think that's a really good thing, because we really do like mixing the whole thing together. It's, I love getting out there and sing, and, I'll go to jam nights and do cover songs, and I'll do cover songs at a fundraiser and things like that. But my passion is really getting out my original music, getting the rock theater thing putting together, get my rock opera finished, and my autobiography. Yeah. So there's a few things. There's always a bunch of stuff going on, but it seems like a good year for people to read books too. So if I can finish my autobiography soon, maybe people will read it at Christmas.
Sounds good. So I think that idea is great. I've mentioned it on the show before, as well as that we want to take the Invisible Man out into venues at some point. We're hoping to do that sooner rather than later, but things got slowed down, and to do more of a variety show. One of those things that kind of what you were talking about was resonating, is rather than, it's fine if you want to go, if you like the bands you're going to see, you go to a show, particularly if you're going to a club or a pub and there are 3 acts on, and you listen to, the odds are you're going to watch one of them, you're not going to watch 3. The other ones, maybe you find them boring.
I don't know. I watch all of them, but I do that because I actually, steal moves from other musicians. Right. That's kind of the thing. You see somebody out there and they're rocking and they're doing some really cool, like, thing with their shoulders. And you're like, ooh, that looked really good. And, when I go out, I think I should be able to write this off as a tax write-off. It's called music mentoring. I go to see a band to learn stuff. And because, unless you're going to take professional lessons, you're not getting mentored in performance style and, what clothes look good. I've certainly made some disastrous last minute decisions about clothes that, oh God.
No. Okay, well,
There's been a few.
if I can intersect there, I think you
No.
can. If you pay for tickets, you can write that off as a musician. Going and look what
You
do.
can?
You can look for because you're looking at competition. You're looking to network. All that stuff is something you can write off.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
and I think we got to be smarter about that too as musicians. I mean, one of the things that, a lot of people were, playing sort of under the table. Well, then the government came out with CERB, and then they didn't qualify for it because they were never claiming their income.
Right.
Listen,
Yeah.
be a musician, but be the whole round of it. Register yourself as a business,
Yeah.
write off your expenses, going to clubs, going out to dinner. You can take you and a whole bunch of friends out for dinner and drinks. 50% of that bill, even including the alcohol, is a write-off. People need to think a little bit more seriously. If you want a career in entertainment or music, then do it the right way. Register yourself as a business, claim your income, claim your receipts, get a GST number. Did you know that everything that you buy, that you pay HST on, you can get refunded to you at the end of the year if you have your own business? These are the things that I learned in 2016. And, a lot of this trip, is a business write-off for me because I'm writing an autobiography, and I've been taking video, and I've been doing things to include in my book. And,
Right.
I've been gathering a lot of research and doing information. So you just mix it all together. I think we're going to see a bigger shift to people moving out of the cities now, because now people think the cities are a little dangerous. And when you live with more people, there's more chance that there's going to be one or two people that are reckless jerks. So if you live in a smaller community where people know each other and all the kids play together and stuff, that might be more important now. I think the home has become a lot more central for people, and people are realizing how important it is to love the people that you live with and have a nice home and a yard, and just connect back with the family. But in the work world and the music world and everywhere, a lot of people were still, everybody was buying things, of course. Look at Amazon, exploding, buying a lot of internet. But there was still a lot of people, there was still more than 50% of the population that was not comfortable with online shopping and internet shopping. Now, online and internet and skip the dishes to your house and whatever else delivery, Uber or whatever, Uber Eats or whatever's going on, all of those businesses became huge during COVID. Things that people were, not embracing 100%. So out of this, I think we're going to see a whole new way of working. We're also going to see a lot more people getting to live places they really want to, instead of living in a congested city and paying a gazillion dollars for a little 1-bedroom, 500 square foot box. You can live out of town in a huge house for the same amount of money and, do a lot of stuff like this virtually, and you have your own business and find ways to make money online. There's a lot of jobs out there right now because a lot of companies folded, but a lot of companies had people leave and then they didn't come back. And then, they were getting their income supplemented somewhere else. So they don't want to work. All across Canada, I've seen help wanted signs everywhere. The Tawasin ferry going to Victoria needed 23 people immediately. And
Right.
they can't get people. If you want to work right now and you haven't and you had trouble looking for a job before, this is a gold mine for you right now, because there's a ton of work right now out there for you to get in at grassroots opportunities, move around. You're sick of living somewhere, leave. Wherever you go, there's going to be a job for you. Literally across Canada, help wanted signs everywhere. So, it's a great, I believe in spinning things positively and, in keeping your vibration of happiness and love and positivity up, so that good things happen to you, and it just makes you feel better and, heals your spirit and your body and all of those things, and so if this is the time where if you were vacillating about making some kind of change and you haven't done it before, you should do it now. This is a great time to embrace change, because so many doors are open that were harder to get through in the past. But with COVID and everybody thinking differently about how the world is going to go, moving around and changing and doing things, this is the year, and 2021 also the year to make those things that you really want to do a reality. Change your life and live happier, and just see if you don't feel better, and let the past go and all that, whatever, who cares? 2020 for me has been the best year of my life. There's no way anybody is ever going to take that away from me. I was alone, and now I have everybody. So, and I've had a great time experiencing, doing online collaborations, being on your show, Mark, and, and doing this. This came out of me doing something that was COVID friendly, the curbside concert series at the Cannabis Castle. And, and then we met here, and then there's this, and this works, so I really do think it's that line that's on the back of my very first CD. It says, your life is designed by the choices you make. Choose well. And I believe that works for everything. We are stronger together, but also make good choices. Live in kindness, do those things, and watch all the doors of love and prosperity open for you.
Okay, that sounds good. Actually, that sounds like a kind of great place to end it there. Let's wind it up. Just so everyone knows, you can reach Jacqueline with email and contacts on the screen there. AronCross.ca is the band, her band there. So
yeah, www.aroncross.ca is where you can find videos and all the music from my first album and one bonus track you can download free from my website right now. Take advantage of that. It's during COVID. It's my gift to you to help you feel a little bit more relaxed during this kind of crazy time of change. But, go and snatch my music and listen to it and get ready, because tonight, Save Me is going to be out on YouTube. You get to hear the whole thing and see the new video. First song from my second album that's coming out in September. And, of course, new music and film and everything. We're just going to keep on rolling.
Excellent. So, you can also catch Jacqueline on Facebook. And you can catch information up there.
Jacqueline Lovely Perras. I'm the only one in the world.
And also on...
There's no other Jacqueline Lovely Perras in the entire world. So I do have 45 spaces on my Facebook right now. So if you really like hanging out and you want to hear some positive, uplifting things every day, I always talk to people on my Facebook. It's one of my things. If somebody sends a comment to me on my video, if you comment on this video, I will respond to you. I like to talk to everybody. If you give me your time, I'll give you my time. And I love, listening to people and sharing their lives and hearing their comments and just, having somebody say, have a nice day, or, travel safe, and I go on other people's shape, and I try and support, my friends too, and try to stay in touch with their lives as much as I can. I'm a little bit busier, so I don't get to see everything, but I guarantee you, if you talk to me on any post that I post, I will respond to you and say at least hello and thank you.
Right. Excellent. Okay, so you can reach us, all our links as you're on theinvisibleman.ca, detailed up there if you like. Don't forget, Phil has a radio show airing Mondays to Fridays. You ready to do your blurb about your show, Phil? Oh, your mic's mute. You're muted.
Could you read my lips? I said, oh, shit. You betcha. The Colorado Phil Show, Monday through Friday, 12 to 4 p.m. Pacific, 1 to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 2 to 6 p.m. Central in back home, Manitoba, Canada, the 204, and 3 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And guess what? I am back where I started, where I created the Colorado Phil Show. I'm on Tri-Lakes Radio. That's TRI, Tri-Lakes Radio. You can listen from the website, www.trilakesradio.com, or you can go to your Google Play Store and download the Live 365 radio app. Now, you got to search those exact words because there's two different choices and one doesn't work. The one that works is Live 365 radio app.
Okay, thank you, Phil.
Sounds hot.
Excellent. So, if you want to show your appreciation to us, we do this out of the goodness of our heart, but we do enjoy a coffee. So if you'd like to buy us a coffee, please do.
And, think coffee, all right?
Yeah, okay. So buymeacoffee.com/it's all in the mind.
Buymeacoffee.com? Is this something like that?
It's right there, yes.
How does that work?
If
Does it come to you in the mail? It would be cold by the time it got to you, wouldn't it?
It's like Patreon, where someone can donate like $5 or $10 or a couple
Oh,
And then
Cool.
just
That's
what I say.
awesome.
That's why I say my cup here needs more than one coffee. So
Oh, wow.
And
I guess it depends on whether or not you're buying
So
a
it's the
regular
shake, you
coffee
have an
or a
option.
mochaccino cappuccino latte. Because there's a
just
difference
regular
between
coffee.
$2 and $7.
so buy us equivalent of a Starbucks, not a Tim Hortons. All right. Okay.
One of those really good Starbucks with all the whipped cream on it, like the $10 coffee.
Indeed. Yeah. Unrelated to the show, I am an author. I've got 2 children's books and a collection of short stories, which you can find at books.mdstallard.com. There's also a link on the Invisible Man website as well. So I think that is it. We're gonna. My phone's.
Oh,
pinging.
wait.
Yes.
find the show page on Facebook. I forgot that part. On Facebook, look up The Colorado Phil Show. When you get there, hit like, hit follow, whichever you prefer. And jump in whenever you can in the comments.
Perfect.
Hey, also besides my Jacqueline Lovely Perras page, I also have an Aron Cross band page and a Jacqueline Lovely artist page. So, but if you Google Jacqueline Lovely Perras, you'll find me. But just a quick note though, there is a Jacqueline Lovell who's a porn star. That's not me. She's pretty hot though. But if you try to put my name in and a porn star comes up, I promise you, I'm not doing porn.
Well, I think that you've just
I'm only a
encouraged.
singer actress.
Go check out Jacqueline's page.
Not Jacqueline Lovell, but
No.
it's just pretty sexy. So I don't feel too bad.
I suspect
Go
there are a
check
few
out
people.
Somebody
listening.
thinks
Jacqueline
I'm her
Lovely
for like
page.
5 minutes. Not really a bad thing.
Yeah,
I
think there
wanted
are-
to mention, I was looking throughout the show at your page and
Yes.
the band profile. I didn't know that you could sell music right there. So that's really cool, really convenient.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to look for that on other artists as well.
You might
but-
even want to, these shows, you could bundle them up in a little CD set and you can sell back tapings of the show to all the fans. Maybe somebody would want to have that,
You never know.
something that's pretty easy to do. It's all about us, creating more income streams from virtual platforms instead of retail. So, that's another thing that you could do with your books, Mark. You could have your book, sell your book right on the page, and you can also sell tapings of the show even.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
Very
definitely keep in
cool.
mind.
It's worth, I was going to add as well, it's worth checking it out because look on the About tab and the history and all that is really cool.
Yeah,
Well
lots
done.
of- Lots of information
you.
there for sure. Okay, well, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you very much, Jacqueline, for joining us. Definitely.
Thank you.
Just a quick shout out. Thank you so much to Randy for letting me use his basement
Okay.
today
There we
and
go.
his
Thanks, Randy.
Wi-Fi, so
Thanks,
I
Randy.
didn't have an interrupted stream here. So thank you very much, Randy.
Yeah.
Thank you, and just a quick one to my lovely cousins Cheyenne and Chelsea. We're watching out for you, and we love you, girls. Whatever you do, just remember this family that loves you and cares about you. And if you need us, reach out because we want to help.
Well, lovely. Okay, that's great. Thank you so very much once again for joining us. From me, Mark David Stannard, Ryan Jans, whose middle name is also David, but he doesn't use it even though he should. And Phil Dupuis, whose middle name is not David, but trust me, man, we're going to call you David all the time. Okay, thank you very much.
I could be a
Lord.
David. I could wear a mustache.
You could. I can't grow one. All
Maybe
right.
I could be a David. I could talk like this.
Okay, thank you very much, and we'll catch you all again next week. We have Winnipeg band Ham Fist joining us, so catch you then. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Oh, the invisible